What's a subtle sign of low intelligence?
Believing anything they read on social media.
People who confuse their opinions with facts.
To add, people who think they know everything are generally pretty stupid. Smarter people will defer questions to qualified and experienced individuals because they are acutely aware of their own limitations, and that's what helps make them smart. They're not scared to admit they lack knowledge in certain topics or fields, and they will learn from that more experienced person to add to their library of knowledge and experience. Stupid people don't know they're stupid. They think they know everything and won't seek out more experienced people and admit to their limitations. Admit they don't know fuck all about certain things.
To add, I think intelligence in a large part is achieved through curiosity. If you think you already know everything, you are no longer curious. Your knowledge is then stuck in the state it was in when you decided to stop learning new things.
The inability or unwillingness to change one's opinion when confronted with new information. If a person just digs their heels, and no matter how much they're proven wrong on a given topic, they're an idiot.
I think it is also pride. Some people just hate being wrong and admitting to it, even if they know they are.
Let's not forget about cognitive dissonance, the uncomfortable feeling one gets when trying to reconcile conflicting beliefs. This new info doesn't feel right, especially since I know this old info is true. It's true, isn't it? Why wouldn't it be true? Let's just ignore the new info.
Not capable of understanding a nuanced point.
I think the complete opposite, and there is no middle ground.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Buying a new car when you're broke AF.
Dude, yes. I have a friend who is broke already barely making ends meet. What did she do a few months ago? Buy a truck. When gas is $5 a gallon. Now she can't even afford to take her kid to the dentist when he has cavities so bad his teeth hurt. Pisses me off to see, honestly.
This is shockingly common. My friend's brother will complain about how groceries are so expensive that they can't afford to fill their pantry, but drives an $80,000 Dodge Ram even though they already owned a new minivan and 2 work trucks. He recently had to pull his kid out of hockey because he couldn't afford it, but he's out there blaming Justin Trudeau and not the $80,000 truck that takes $300 in gas a week and costs $500 per month to insure.
ITT, people who don't know what the word subtle means.
Subtle sign of low intelligence, misunderstanding the question and hijacking the thread.
Thinking the world is simple.
Arguing in absolutes.
They have a conspicuously small spread of skills for such a high-level wizard.
All I need is fireball. If someone disagrees, fireball. If someone agrees, fireball. If someone is ambivalent, fireball. You would not believe it, but spell slots open at the end of the day, fireball.
Whenever I have a problem, I just cast fireball and then I have a completely different problem.
Calling something stupid because they can't understand it.
Uses only empty buzzwords in their conversations. I've got a coworker who only communicates in phrases like situational awareness and following breadcrumbs and asks for meetings to amplify our synergy. This person was promoted beyond their level of competence and has no idea how to do the job.
I do love the term situation awareness, though. Some people truly lack it. This term was thrown around a lot in my military days.
My fiancé and I speak to each other in corporate when someone uses a buzzword and we want to make lighthearted fun of each other. Let's take that offline. Can we table this discussion? Can we circle back? Drill down. I'll correspond with you on that. ADIT, yes. All of the responses also have great corporate bullshit. I use it day to day, but also can make fun of myself for using it.
Not understanding analogies very well.
Let's say this rock is a seed but it's a rock. I know it's a rock. Listen, this seed, it's small at first, but eventually it will grow into a big tree, way larger than all of us one day. But that's a rock. I know it's a rock.
Inability to accept new ideas. A truly intelligent person will listen and try to learn from something even if they believe it's bogus. Edit. I meant a truly not. I'm not like that, I swear X'd.
But we've always done it this way. And that's why we suck.
Thinking their opinion/perspective is also everyone else's. Thinking no one does that because they don't do that.
Everyone puts their cereal at the top of the pantry. That's just where it goes, my sister. Yeah, not me.
I've noticed that the dumber someone is, the dumber they assume everyone else is. Smarter people will often try to see the other side of an argument, assuming there's nothing else at play, like low self-esteem. People with lower intelligence often assume that people who disagree with them are simply dumb because they imagine their arguments to be dumb.
Likewise, people that lie, steal, cheat, etc. also tend to assume everyone else does or would given the chance.
Got in an argument on Reddit where they told me there was no way either of us would know something because we weren't scientists and because of that can't make any claims. When I corrected them that I actually was a published scientist that has taught for over a decade, they blocked me. Edit. Since this has blown up, I just wanted to add that I think scientific ignorance is the greatest threat to humanity, and I'm open to any solutions.
I dedicated a large part of my life to educating thousands of students, but I can't help feeling the problem is getting worse.
Not understanding hypothetical questions.
But like, what if? Dude, that's literally never going to happen. No man, it's hypothetical. Bro, who uses the word hypothetical, you fen geek?
I was telling a coworker about a book I was reading and explained that it took place 500 years in the future. She got really annoyed and said, "How can you have a story from a time that hasn't happened yet? We don't even know what the world will be like in 500 years." I was genuinely speechless. That's the whole point of a fictional story.
Inability to see from another perspective.
So true. They just can't comprehend what you're trying to convey.
I'm an engineer and I worked with a seemingly backwoods older guy, late 50s, couldn't use Excel for shit, read the Drudge Report every morning in oil and gas. Like literally one of the first things he said to me was, "So, what do you think of the guys?" Lol, I'm Indian and was like, "Oh great, here we go." He started asking about my culture and the Browns and stuff, but eventually I realized he was genuinely curious, but he just didn't know how to present his questions more respectfully. Once I realized he was just trying to learn in his own way, I warmed up to him and we became friends. Yeah, he would randomly drop lines where I'd laugh and be like, "Dude, you can't say shit like that," but he was inherently a good person. Took good care of his family, tried giving me fatherly advice since I'm close to his son's age, shit like that. I guess the best way to describe him would be innocently ignorant. Like he didn't know he was being racist or sexist or whatever, but he started checking himself when myself or our colleagues would say something to him. Worked with him for 8 years and never had a problem. Sometimes people are just not self-aware enough, but most of the time they are just assholes. You can either be open enough to listen to their side or just ignore them.
Thinking people speaking a second language imperfectly means the person is stupid.
I worked in a PT clinic where one of the therapists was taking on Spanish-speaking patients so he could improve his Spanish. He wasn't great, but he was definitely improving. It also allowed him to widen his patient list so he could be more valuable to the team. The other non-Spanish-speaking therapists were making fun of him. It boggled my mind.
Lack of curiosity.
You ever had to train or work with someone who just has no desire to know anything beyond what you're telling them or the why behind what they're doing? Every instruction needs to be laid out in painstaking detail. If an issue arises, there's no desire to understand why or attempt to fix it. They just error out and stand there waiting for instruction. It's like programming a computer, but the computer is a human potato.
I think people are confusing signs of low intelligence with signs of being an asshole.
Sometimes people are assholes simply because they cannot logic their way out of it.
A wise man speaks because he has something to say. A fool speaks because he has to say something.
Thinking that they're always right/not admitting when they're wrong.
What if I'm an idiot who always admits to being wrong?
Then you're the smart one after all.
Using too many words to explain a simple concept or story. Dumbing it down actually requires some hardcore brain power at times.
I'll be the first to admit, I had no idea how hard dumbing things down was until I had children. Like, how do I dumb down how to pour cereal? They ask so many questions that are amazingly simple for me to know, but super difficult to explain.
When your hand is bigger than your face.
Mocking or making fun of people who want to learn more or get a higher education.
To piggyback on this, people who mock others who are intelligent but weren't able to get a higher education. Assuming that they can't be intelligent unless they followed the traditional education path.
Yep, I know a guy who seems to think that intelligence comes from, like, how much trivia you've memorized. Like, no, I can't name all the US presidents in order. That doesn't mean I'm a moron.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget subscribe and watch our other videos. Bye.